Que ora ace, Chiquito? Look at all the shiny things this new time has to plunder. Attend, I shall set the tempo for this conflict. Move to my beat, and there will be victory. Fail to do so, and you will dance macabre. Hello, and welcome to Dolphin's Dive, the strategically minded weekly stream of Sentinels of the Multiverse on Handelabra Games. Handelabra Games believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal is not welcome and will not be tolerated. You can follow us at Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and Handelabra Games right here on Twitch. You can follow me personally on Twitter at LewDolphin21, and on YouTube and Twitch, just LewDolphin, no digits. Sentinels of the Multiverse is currently available for iOS, Android, and PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam, and always via good old analog cardboard and ink. You can get the game and more info at sentinelsdigital.com. We did it! Nailed it! Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. I was working on that all week, and now I don't know what to do. What do I do with myself? There's nothing left to do here. You know, like, what am I supposed to do? Do a strategic stream? Pfft, who does that these days? I should just tell some sort of story. I was walking down the street, and I saw a rat pass by, and I thought to myself, that's weird. Why is there a rat close by? And all of a sudden, I ended up in this vast chemical complex known as Pike Industrial. And that rat was apparently the brother to a nemesis known as Plague Rat, and he had some people next to him, but they were getting lashed at each other. And well, yada yada yada, 4 heroes showed up, and here we are today. I'm not good at this. If you want actual storytelling, you should watch Tales from the Archive. I do stuff, and people pay me big bucks. That's all I'm good for. So, thank you, Jay-Z. I can take the piss out of John for messing it up last Tuesday. I sure can. And hello, Bullner. Hello, HH2 News, Veriga. Yes, we have Dark Conductor Argent Adept. If you've not seen him before, his base power, Dark Dynamics, reveal the top card of any 2 decks. Put 1 card into play and the other into the trash. So, that can do some speed up of hero decks. It can also do some filtering of the villain decks or environment deck. I guess the primary use is to look at 2 hero decks, and then you have a choice as to which card to play, but I don't know. Just like Extreme Prime Warden's Argent Adept, this guy is a little harder to get a full instrument and song thing going, but he's starting with Akpunku's Drum, 2 instrumental conjurations, and a syncopated onslaught, so he could maybe get some instruments and 1 song at least. America's newest legacy has a Bolster Allies, Danger Sense, Heroic Interception, and the Legacy Ring. The Inhuman Tempest has Chain Lightning, Electrical Storm, Into the Stratosphere, and Vicious Cyclone. In Omnitron-U, ooh, you can't actually see the U until you pull this card up, has Bioengineering Beam, Reset, Rocket Punch, and Self-Sabotage. So, La Capitan, Villain, Out of Time. Setup. At the start of the game, La Capitan enters play out of time, side up. Chiquito is put into play and La Capitan's deck is shuffled. Gameplay. At the end of La Capitan's turn, if Chiquito is in play, La Capitan deals the hero target with the highest HP 3 energy damage. If not, Chiquito is moved from La Capitan's trash into play, and the hero with the most cards in hand discards 1 card. We have the Operative, Villain, Mystical Combatant. Setup. At the start of the game, the Operative enters play Mystical Combatant, side up. Iato Practitioner is put into play, the Operative's deck is shuffled. Gameplay. At the end of the Operative's turn, the Operative deals the hero target with the second lowest HP 2 melee damage. We have Ambuscade, or is it Ambuscade, actually? Villain, Slaughterhouse Leader. Setup. At the start of the game, Ambuscade enters play Slaughterhouse Leader side up. Cards are revealed from the top of Ambuscade's deck until a Nemesis is revealed and put into play. Other revealed cards are shuffled back into Ambuscade's deck. Gameplay. At the end of Ambuscade's turn, Ambuscade deals each target next to a snare 3 melee damage. If no damage is dealt this way, the top card of Ambuscade's deck is played. And lastly, we have Plague Rat. Villain, Chemically Leashed Pursuer. Setup. At the start of the game, Plague Rat enters play Chemically Leashed Pursuer side up. Plague Rat's deck is... There we go, there's the fumble. Plague Rat's deck is shuffled and cards are revealed from the top until 2 handlers are revealed and put into play. The other revealed cards are shuffled back into Plague Rat's deck. Gameplay. Plague Rat is immune to toxic damage. If there are no handlers in play, increase damage dealt by Plague Rat by 2. At the end of Plague Rat's turn, Plague Rat deals each target 1 toxic damage. Then Plague Rat deals the 2 handlers with the lowest HP 2 melee damage each. So, Chiquito, Anthropoid. The first time, oops, I forgot I still have fast display up. I want to turn this down because I want to be able to read cards as the Anthropoid. So Chiquito is in play, and so is Adept Practitioner. And Magman, Nemesis. At the end of Ambuscade's turn, this card deals the hero target with the second lowest HP 3 fire damage. RevoCorp Neutralizer, Handler. Increased damage dealt by Plague Rat to hero targets by 1. At the start of Plague Rat's turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 2 lightning damage. RevoCorp Tanker, Handler. Reduced damage dealt to Plague Rat by 1. At the start of Plague Rat's turn, this card deals each hero target 1 toxic damage. And those are all of the start of game things. Donde Aquí! One shot. La Capitan deals the hero target with the highest HP 3 melee damage. La Capitan deals the hero target with the lowest HP 2 energy damage. And there's damage, and that's the first turn. So, the cards that I did get to read. Chiquito, Anthropoid. The first time a player discards a card each turn, place it under this card. When La Capitan or this card will be dealt damage, move one card from under this card to the appropriate trash. If a card is moved this way, prevent that damage. And Adept Practitioner, ongoing. The first time damage dealt by the Operative reduces a target to 0 or fewer HP each turn, the Operative deals a hero target with the highest HP 5 melee damage. I don't know that I've really seen Adept Practitioner trigger, but oh well. It could do something. What's going on here? Oops, was sleepy when that happened. Yes, we have Dark Dynamics. The very spooky Argent Adept is out there, and people have unlocked him. We do not have the official unlock yet, last I've checked. Well, we have a song, but we can't activate it. We have instruments, but we don't have songs. So we're gonna have to play something in order to really start doing things. And I'm thinking getting Akpunku's drum, not Akpunku's drum, Zoo's Bell out. Because then I could use the Syncopated Onslaught. And I'm gonna start with the Instrumental Conjuration, because I have 2 of those, and if I lose Zoo's Bell in the interim, I can get it back. But if I play Syncopated Onslaught and I lose it, then I can't get it back. So, Zoo's Bell. And I draw a Counterpoint Bulwark, which is another rhythm, so that's great, comboed with Zoo's Bell. This variant had to be released on Halloween. I know everyone's upset that Skyscraper hasn't, or the Extremist Skyscraper hasn't been released yet, but this is the Halloween variant! There's no way you could not release Dark Dynamics Argent Adept on not Halloween. I'm sorry. This is the only guy that could be released on Halloween. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna look at Argent Adept, because we could possibly speed him up. And maybe Legacy we can get a damage booster. We have the Lyra, and we have Inspiring Presence! That's what I wanted, because we don't have that in hand. I can get the Lyra later, it's not immediately useful, but Inspiring Presence is immediately useful. Unless the Operative destroys it. I don't know if the Operative actually has ongoing destruction, but she could. And there's an Arcane Cadence. Oh right, yeah, Adept Practitioner can trigger against Unity and Captain Cosmic. That makes sense. Viper's Cloud, one shot. The Operative deals each hero target 1 toxic damage. Any player whose hero character card was dealt damage this way discards 1 card. Oof. That means we're all discarding. Yay, discards! I can lose the drum because I can conjure it. Oop, but Chiquito steals the first one. So actually, I always do this. I always forget that Chiquito's out there. So the first discard has to be something that I don't really want. And an instrument is something I might want someday. Vicious Cyclone and the Vengeance game isn't really too good. It could be good, but it takes too long to really get going, and there's too many targets. Let's lose the drum. I'm thinking I want to keep the bolster allies to eventually get our cards back. I'm gonna ditch Danger Sense. Heroic Interception could be valuable. And an Omnitron-U. If he puts an equipment in the trash, he can get it back, right? His base power. Move one equipment card from your trash to your hand. Unless he resets, in which case he wouldn't get it back. Self-sabotage is really good against Omnitron-U. Or with Omnitron-U, because you can double dip the damage. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ditch Rocket Punch. I'd prefer to use my base power if I had a choice. It could potentially trigger on hero character cards, indeed, because it's 0 or fewer HP. It doesn't outright say destroy, so that does make it a little scarier. Well, now Legacy can actually do damage, unlike Argent Adept, and so we're gonna have to make some choices here. But I guess the first choice is what card to play. And since Legacy lacks any other power, Legacy Ring doesn't have immediate utility. I think I'm just gonna bolster the allies. So you get a Conjuration, another bolster allies, the Elemental Subwave Inducer, and the Gaussian Coil Blaster. And now here's the choice. So, who is the first priority? And how do we deal with that? Well, I don't know that these guys are really that bad. Chiquito is annoying, but if you destroy him, he comes back anyway. Megman deals damage to the second lowest, which is annoying, but the Handler's probably the one, the RevoCorp Neutralizer. Well, I mean, like, the RevoCorp Tanker is dealing damage to each hero target, so sort of a damage increase already. The Neutralizer increases Plague Rat damage, but only to hero targets. Or I could just target Plague Rat. That's the thing. Like in Vengeance, I've always feel like I could try to target something that's not a character card, but it seems like I might as well just target something else instead. But I don't really want to waste this on Capitan. Like, Tempest could do that. So I probably want to throw this damage somewhere else. And I'm pretty wary to do anything to Ambuscade, because if I incapacitate Ambuscade, then Glamour comes out. So I'm just going to target Operative. I don't really know if that was a wise choice, but I've targeted Operative. You would take out Plague Rat first in the setup. Man. Like, I was thinking about it, but then I sort of think I would like Plague Rat to be able to deal damage to everything, but yeah, maybe Plague Rat is the issue. Enticing Target, Snare. Reduce damage dealt to this card by 1 whenever a villain character card or nemesis card would be dealt damage. Redirect that damage to this card. That's annoying. And Too Many Guns, ongoing. The first time Ambuscade deals damage to a hero target each turn, he also deals a second hero target 2 projectile damage, a third hero target 2 energy damage, and a fourth hero target 2 fire damage. Thankfully, he is not doing damage here. Let's throw this on Argent Adept, I guess. Now, of course, there's the issue that I can't destroy it right now, but I could Stratosphere it. Or I could just take out Ambuscade. That's how I always feel. Let's take out Ambuscade first. But probably like throwing something on top of the deck is wise to freeze someone. If I Stratosphere the Tanker, I could do more damage to Ambuscade, or to Plague Rat this turn. And then he would play the Tanker, which would be better than something else, right? I'm gonna do that. Of course, that redirects to the Enticing Target, unfortunately. So I guess maybe it wasn't really that good, but I can at least take out the Enticing Target directly. And then one of Chiquito or Capitan's going to not be dealt damage. So I'm going to opt for Chiquito because I don't really care to destroy him. And then I'm just going to do 2 damage to everything. Choices? What are choices? Flash Flood. Oh my gosh, RevoCorp tanker, I had no idea. And that didn't really change anything. I don't know that there's an order that matters. So I'm just gonna choose for me. That's why that button was invented. True story. I'm trying to get my bottle opened. Hey, Wally! Welcome to a Sentinels of the Multiverse stream. An environment you are not used to. Oh good, the RevoCorp neutral. Oh no, never mind. 2 damage, never mind. Carry on. Okay. So do I want that rocket punch back? I don't really think I do. So I think I'm gonna get the coil blaster out, and then I'm going to reset. And we'll see what happens. We get a focused plasma cannon, so hopefully both of these survive. Yeah, at least if they get taken out, I can deal 2 damage twice. Or, yeah, well, yeah, 2 damage twice for the lump sum of them being destroyed. Experimental Mutagen. When this card enters play, put all rat cards from the environment trash into play. Increase damage dealt by rats by 1. Reduce damage dealt to rats by 1. Notice this does not say plague rat. At the start of the environment turn, if there are 2 or more rats in the environment trash, destroy this card. It's exciting when there's no rats anywhere, but okay. Anomalous Shift. 1 shot. Shuffle each hero trash into the associated hero deck. Reveal the top card of each hero deck. Discard any 1-shots revealed this way. Then put the other revealed cards back on top of their decks. Interesting. Well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we didn't care about Omnitron's trash anyway. We have nothing to reclaim anyway. So, oh, and actually this is very good with Argent Adept, because we'll know if it's an ongoing card that's put back on top, we'll know what we would possibly want. So we do want to pay attention. Argent Adept revealed a 1-shot, so that got discarded. Legacy revealed an ongoing, and that is actually not a good ongoing for Argent Adept to get put into play, although I guess it would freeze Operative. Tempest has an ongoing, and Omnitron-U has an ongoing, but it's also a bad ongoing. Slip Through Time is really bad to play out of turn. It does nothing. Unless you're playing Wager Master, I guess. Alright, well, if I... Do I want to use Dark Dynamics is the question. Like, Tempest, we know he has Cleansing Downpour, but I think we want Tempest to deal damage. Like, it's really powerful to be able to deal damage. So, I don't really need to use Dark Dynamics because... there's not really, like, Legacy and Omnitron-U both have cards we don't really want out, per se. Argent Adept, we don't know what his top of deck is, but it's not going to be of immediate use unless he deals himself damage or something. Or, sorry, if he Polyphoric Flares, and then he can use Zeus Bell, but that's sort of a waste when I can just use Zeus Bell. You picked up Tabletop Simulator a few days ago, and you've been having tons of fun with fan-made decks. Just thought you'd share. If you're talking about Cauldron decks, those decks I've played a few times. I haven't really played the physical game too much since digital has gotten most of the expansions out at this point anyway. But the few games I did play, there were some heroes that were pretty cool. Some heroes were pretty overpowered. Villains were pretty terrible. Like, terrible in terms of difficult, not like terrible like in bad design, but they were pretty difficult, and I haven't played it since. So I can't speak too much about, like, Cauldron decks. But those do exist, and maybe someday we'll be able to have, like, Cauldron decks available. Alright, so I'm gonna Syncopated Onslaught, I think, and then I can make Tempest to do more damage, because he's doing a lot of damage right now. And I could increase damage dealt by Plague Rat if I really wanted to. That would be sort of amusing, but no, I don't think so. Is there anyone? Legacy only has like 1 instance of damage, possibly 2 with Backfist Strike. Tempest is already selected. And Omnitron, if he Coil Blasters or Plasma Cannons, that's good. So it probably makes sense to throw out Omnitron. And now it can deal 1 damage. Let's see. Plague Rat goes after Tempest. If I do this damage to the tanker, so I think potentially we can get Plague Rat. So Plague Rat deals more damage when there are no handlers in play. We can probably set it up so that Plague Rat destroys his handlers. First he damages the heroes, then he destroys his handlers, and then he deals damage to the rest of the villains, increased by 2. But if I do this damage first, then Tempest will take out both the neutralizer and the tank, and Plague Rat will do more damage anyway. What is the Operative's in-cap, by the way? Operative's in-cap, whenever a hero target would regain HP, they only regain 1 instead. That sort of neuters Cleansing Downpour. Capitan's, was it like Destroy an Ongoing? Yes. Destroy an Ongoing, or you discard 2 cards. Don't really want those in play. I'll just focus on the Operative. I already started. I'm going to commit to this plan. It's happening. Furnace Sonata is really good with this version of Argent Adept. Poisoned Blade, 1-shot. The Operative deals the hero target with the highest HP 2 melee damage and 2 toxic damage. And then he does the damage to the same target. Jeez, Operative. What do you have against aliens? I think bolster allies again because I don't know. I want more options. We have Sadistic Dissonance, that's good. Takedown, well, right, we know what these are. We revealed them. Ha ha! Okay. Well, if I now want a Cleansing Downpour, I can. And, yeah, Operative. Danger Sense. So if he deals damage, that's going to be annoying. Hunting Pack, 1-shot. Reveal the top 6 cards of Ambuscade's deck, put any Nemesis revealed into play, discard the other revealed cards. Each villain character card and Nemesis card regains 2 HP. And we have Raymanta, Nemesis. At the end of Ambuscade's turn, discard deals the hero target with the highest HP 2 energy damage and destroys 1 equipment card. Then, if there are any component cards in play, destroy 1 and each Nemesis regains 2 HP. Glamour! Nemesis. The first time a Nemesis card will be dealt damage by a hero target each turn, redirect that damage to the hero target with the highest HP. There it is. That's beautiful. So basically all of Tempest's damage has been neutered and Enticing Target has returned. I don't want to do the Nemesis damage, I think. And we have to destroy an equipment, and then we have to destroy a component. Tragedy. Well, Zeus Bell could be brought back easily. Yeah. And if I destroy Focused Plasma Cannon, I still do damage that it would have done, at least. It's not irreducible damage. I can take out Enticing Target. Maybe. Or do I want to do that? If I leave Enticing Target out, and then Tempest targets Glamour, that redirects to Enticing Target and takes it out, and then I don't have to worry about Glamour's redirect. Maybe. Well, I certainly don't want to target Glamour. I don't really want to target any Nemesis. Oh, right, and the worst part about Glamour, actually, it's not even just Glamour, it's any Nemesis. No, this is awful. This makes Tempest pretty bad, honestly. Well, I can't target a villain character card anyway. Can't target a Nemesis. Jimmy the Cannon, hello. How are you doing tonight, sir? Ugh. Well, amusingly, I could Sadistic Dissonant Glamour, but I need more setup for that. That would probably be a means of bypassing that whole issue. If I Chain Lightning... Chain Lightning was going to be great. Now it's a little annoying, but... Ugh. See, the annoying thing is that this is per nemesis. So my 1 damage increased by 2 is going to get redirected to hero targets if I use Squall. I guess the positive thing is that Plague Rat could take out Glamour, because it's only the first time dealt damage by a hero target. So for Plague Rat to do that, though, I need to use up her redirect and then damage it with Tempest. So I'm not going to use up the 4. Oh, Ambuscade. Well, I'm just gonna throw this. I don't really want to do it when there's a -1. I'll throw the big hit on Ambuscade because screw him for putting Glamour in play. And then the next big hit on Capitan, and then Glamour, who redirects to Omnitron, takes 4 damage for the team. And now I can hit Glamour. And assuming that we are able to take out the tanker, which we certainly will be with Plague Rat's damage. Hopefully. Actually, yeah, I guess that's not... I mean, he's gonna... As long as he doesn't play a handler that reduces damage dealt by Plague Rat to non-hero targets. But... So these two are still gonna be thrown elsewhere. And Omnitron, we want to keep your thing. Migraines, but trying to deal with them. How's the battle going? Glamour's out, which tells you all that you need to know. Oh, and Chiquito's gonna get destroyed in this. Oh well. I guess he was gonna get destroyed by Plague Rat anyway. We're gonna need that cleansing downpour though. But if Operative gets incapped, then actually that makes the cleansing downpour less useful. Like, I would like to have the electrical storm out, but if Glamour's out, it's annoying. Chemical Frenzy. Ooh, that's kind of bad because that takes out the tanker early. And this is gonna hit Tempest, who's gonna hit himself for 3, and Omnitron, who's gonna hit himself for 3. Ooh. I think we're gonna lose Omnitron's component, after all. Now that Inspiring Presence and Syncopated Onslaught is no longer good. I don't really like the speed of the animations currently. I want to speed it up a bit. I think this is too slow. I generally prefer it faster, but I mean... Actually, order mattered. Hold on. Order mattered, right, because we wanted the heroes first. I forgot this plan because it's not happening when I was expecting it to. But we can definitely get Plague Rat to hit things harder. And we don't want it to hit heroes harder, although he will at the end of his turn, but there's nothing I can do about that. Right, and then I want to speed up the animations because this is annoying me. It's not even the animation, it's message display time, that's the issue here. Right, and now take out the Revocorp tanker. Oh, this is, actually no, that's Omnitron's damage because he destroyed something, right. Why did that get destroyed on it, actually, because... Oh, because he took 1 damage at the start of the turn, okay. So that destroys the Coil Blaster, and now this is Omnitron's damage, and we don't want to hit a Nemesis. And I don't want to hit Plague Rat. I'll hit Ambuscade, right! And now I take out the tanker. And now Plague Rat wails on everyone. And Glamour's gone. Thankfully. And then this is the end of turn damage. Can't do anything about that +2 now. Whoever suggested taking out Plague Rat first, probably I should have listened to them. Because he can take care of the villains, but I have to take care of Plague Rat. And we're hurting. We're hurting bad. Alright, we'll slip through time so I can do more things. And then... at the end of my turn, I could play a card and use a power. I wish I could play something that would let me draw cards. I don't know. I'll play Bioengineering Beam because then I have a power. Technological Advancement. Alright, so I'm going to make myself reduce toxic damage so that Plague Rat doesn't hurt me as hard. And I'm going to focus on Plague Rat. My priorities have shifted. Hey, person. Biomimetic? I thought it was biometric, but it's like biomimetic. Plasma VAT. Interesting. VAT. At the end of the environment turn, each target regains 1 HP. Reduce all damage by 1. Alright, so that at least helps us recover a bit. So that's not awful. I like this card, honestly, because it tends to help the heroes more than the villains. Throwback. One shot. The environment takes a full turn now. Out of turn order sequence. During that turn, villain targets are immune to damage from environment cards. Alright, now we're on the environment turn. Escaped Lab Rat. Rat. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals the 2 non-environment targets with the lowest HP 1 melee damage each. Ooh. That's Ambuscade and that's Tempest. Oh, but right, the Plasma Vat's out, so it's not actually going to do any damage. Biomimetic? Oh, I see. My bad. Alright. Alright, now we're at the end of Capitan's turn. Wait, I feel like something happened. Chiquito's back. And Argent Adept has to discard a card. Oh no! I'm gonna keep that Arcane Cadence. I guess like I can't immediately use Sadistic Dissonant, so... And we don't even need it anymore because Clamor's gone. Okay. And actually, do I want to Arcane Cadence the first time a player discards a card each turn? Yeah, Arcane Cadence shouldn't trigger that, right? Do we have cards in our trashes that we would like to have back? Because we could put one into play if I Vernal Sonata. Like, I could put Technological Advancement on top and Omnitron can do something with that. But it might be better to power up Tempest again. I said I was probably going to think about Cleansing Downpour, but with the Plasma Vat out, I'm not really too concerned. I would really like to be able to destroy too many guns, though, because that's probably going to trigger eventually. Even though it's now a little nicer because it's all reduced by 1. That's what happens when you're influenced by blood magic. Oh no. If Legacy plays Takedown... Actually, that's really bad because Plague Rat is the villain target with the highest. That's gonna get increased by 2. But that could be interesting because that would freeze everyone and Plague Rat would not be able to get a handler out and would be able to do more damage to everything again. But that's also pretty bad. I sort of want a Vernal Sonata, but I feel like I don't have an immediate benefit from it. I could Arcane Cadence, and then I could play a card, and I could put the top card of my deck into play. But I feel like I want to do something more than that. Takedown, so what Takedown says is at the end of your turn, the villain target with the highest HP deals Legacy 2 energy damage. That target is Plaguerat. Plaguerat has no handlers in play, so damage dealt by Plaguerat is increased by 2, so he would deal 4 damage to Legacy. The problem is I do not have Electrical Storm in Tempest's trash. Like, if I did have an Electrical Storm, I could certainly do that, but I don't, so I can't control that. I don't know. So I could get Zoo's Bell out, increase Tempest's damage by 1. Probably increase Omnitron's, because it's likely he'll still do damage. Although I guess the only damage he's guaranteed to do is by Slip Through Time's Destruction. I could increase Legacy and he can Backfist Strike and base power. Yeah, I guess that's the best I can really do. Actually, it's in my trash. And then I get another Instrumental Conjuration. It's the second time that happened, I think. So Tempest and Legs. And do 1 point of damage to something. And I'm just gonna focus on Plaguerat, because he's my priority. Toxin Dart, 1 shot. The operative deals the hero target with the lowest HP 2 toxic damage. Destroy 2 hero ongoing cards in the same play area as the target dealt damage this way. But Tempest has no ongoing cards. Alright, so damage time. This is the Jeremy method. When in doubt, damage. Ooh, there's a motivational charge. That's something I can use with Legacy Ring. Double Team, 1 shot. The 2 villain targets with the lowest HP each deal the hero target with the highest HP 2 melee damage. Each target which deals damage this way regains 1 HP. Which is Ambuscade and Chiquito. And Omnitron's not going to take any damage. So no one dealt damage this way. Shrewd Ambush, 1 shot. Reveal cards from the top of Ambuscade's deck until 1 snare is revealed. Put it into play. Shuffle the other revealed cards into Ambuscade's deck. Move 1 snare from Ambuscade's trash into play. Which he probably discarded a snare earlier. Envenomed Bolts, snare ongoing. Play this card next to the hero character card with the lowest HP. Whenever that hero's player plays a card, Ambuscade deals the hero character card next to this card 1 toxic damage. That's Tempest. And we do have snares here. Right, Enticing Target was in fact a snare. I could put this in Omnitron's play area because he would not deal himself damage, except he would deal himself 1 point of damage because of the Syncopated Onslaught, actually. I guess Envenomed Bolts, because it's not actually doing anything with biomimetic plasma fats. Except, actually no, because that's going to hit Tempest twice, right? Oh no, that was his end of turn. I get you, okay. Because I was thinking like Ambuscade's now going to deal each target next to a snare 3 melee damage, and then Too Many Guns was going to trigger. Well, I guess now is a good time as any to play Electrical Storm. Alright, and if I want to hit Capitan, I have to target Chiquito first. And then the rest. So I think we're doing okay. It basically comes down to what Plague Rat does on his turn. That decides what's going to happen next. Plague Rat plays RevoCorp Backup. One shot. Reveal cards from the top of Plague Rat's deck until 2 handlers are revealed. Put them into play. Discard the other revealed cards. He has RevoCorp Restrainer, reducing damage dealt by Plague Rat to villain targets by 1. At the start of Plague Rat's turn, Plague Rat regains 5 HP. And another Neutralizer, which unfortunately undoes the Metmatic Plasma Vats. So, this turn's actually not too exciting. It means that he's not doing a bunch of damage to everyone, which is okay. He is doing more damage to us and no damage to the villains, but he's at least not killing everyone, which he could have easily done. And he's doing this. This is going to get reduced to 0, right? Okay. I think focusing Plague Rat's still wise. And I'm going to get that deployment unit out. And something. Well, I could play the plasma cannon on my turn if I really wanted to do something. So I'm going to move something. I'm going to move the coil blaster because I could do more damage to more targets. Or, well, fewer damage to more targets or something. I don't know. Okay. Is this the explosion? No, it's another escaped lab rat. Who's also not going to do anything. Heals. HP wise, I think we're about even. Who's considered to have the second lowest? Ambuscade, of course. Ambuscade, of course. Deja vu. A good time span. Ongoing. If La Capitan we dealt 3 or more damage by another target, prevent that damage, and La Capitan deals the source of that damage 2 energy damage, then destroy this card. Oh well. Alright, so Argent Adept is can actually progress. So, do we have things in a trash we want to get out now? Not particularly. Or I guess my trash as well, but not particularly. Arcane Cadence. Whatever. Alacritus Subdominant would be good. We already have a Syncopated Onslaught. Silver Shadow doesn't have an immediately awesome use. Arcane Cadence could be good. Idasaur's Horn could go wherever. Alright, well. I'll put Arcane Cadence in hand, Silver Shadow on top. Onslaught on the bottom, Horn in the trash, play the Subdominant. So what was on top? Yeah, I mean, if I got the Focus Plasma Cannon, yeah, that could be... I guess because it is irreducible damage, it would be good, but yeah. What was on top? It was... sorry, the Silver Shadow, so it's not something I really want to get out. So Tempest, and who could do damage more? Oh no, Omnitron can do damage. This should be Omnitron. Because he's going to be... He has his start of turn damage now. Student of Many Masters. One shot. If Iodo Practitioner is in play, the Operative deals the 3 hero targets with the highest HP 1 melee damage each. If not, search the Operative's trash and deck for Iodo Practitioner and put it into place. Shuffle the Operative's trash into her deck. This is a wonderful 0 damage because of the Biomimetic Plasma Vat. So... I think eventually I'm going to want a motivational charge. I guess this isn't a bad opportunity for takedown, though. Freeze up everyone. Yeah, I'm going to freeze up everyone. And now too many guns triggers. So projectile energy fire. So the one that Omnitron can reduce should go to Omnitron, and the other two don't matter. Too many guns! Oh hey, and I have Stratosphere still. I don't think order matters. So I feel like it's started out pretty bad, but it's been pretty steady since. Alright, so Stratosphere probably. I could Stratosphere one handler. This 1 damage. So he's going to do 2 damage. Okay, so... Oh, but Plague-Rat's only going to do 1. I was thinking, like, I could probably get Plague-Rat to take out 1 handler. If I took out the one that reduced damage, but he's not going to be able to get past the VATS reduction. Neither of them are actually reducing damage to Plague-Rat. They're only reducing damage dealt by Plague-Rat to villain targets. I guess good time span. Because that's stopping us from doing big instances of damage to Capitan, even though, like, she'll probably end up getting whittled down anyway. I guess, like, I could also put the Reaper Neutralizer on top. Actually, no, because this guy... If I take this guy away, Plague-Rat doesn't regain 5 HP. Okay. When you remove damage like that, or when you remove HP recovery like that, it's sort of like reverse damage. Alright, so Plague-Rat's turn is going to be a little boring. So I'm just going to fast forward through this. No need to see a bunches of 2 damages. Grievous Hailstorm! And then 0 damage to everything. Or no, I guess it's 1 damage to hero targets, but that's okay. Tempest has 1 HP, it's fine. It's the only point that matters. Alright, let's play Focus Plasma Cannon. And this takes out Plague-Rat, perfect. Kill something before they deal damage, and hey, that's damage you didn't have to heal. Exactly. Alright, self-sabotage, destroy any number of components. We have 2 components. If I play this during my power phase, though, that's going to do a lot of damage. So actually, yeah, so Gaussian put Coil Blaster, and then volatile wiring, and we should win the game. So take out one of these. This does 3 damage each, so... But I'm doing this twice for each destruction. Because I'm doing it during my play phase, or my power phase. I'm happy I've gotten others to understand that healing is negative damage. Well, if you remove the source of healing, then it serves as reverse damage dealt, because if they don't regain the HP, then you sort of made them deal damage. Alright, so 1 game down. And that was a villains game, because we haven't featured too many villains of the Multiverse games on this stream, I feel like. I've always been sort of tending towards single villain games, because honestly I prefer that setup more than Vengeance style. Not that I despise Vengeance, I just prefer the solo villains. And Viewer's Choice usually picks solo villain. So I feel like we need to sort of balance that out a bit. Oh hey, you know what time it is? What time is it? It's 7:53. Alright, thanks for watching. It's been a really short Dolphins dive, but I don't really know that we can do anything else in this stream. We already won 1 game. I don't know what you can expect out of more. Viewer's Choice! Alright, Viewer's Choice. So I ask questions to chat. Hopefully you're awake, chat. Wake up if not! Because I'm going to ask you guys questions. I will type a question into chat. Only once the question is in chat can people answer it. I do have some people who preemptively answer questions. It has to be after I type the question in for fairness. I ask first, solo or team, because this determines whether we're going to play 1 villain or multiple villains, and it also determines like whether I have to ask the 3, 4, or 5 question earlier or not. Then I ask for villain. If it's a Vengeance game, first villain, then first hero, then second villain, then second hero. If it's a solo, then it's just hero 1, hero 2, hero 3. Jeez, I'm all hiccupy here. And then I ask for the environment. After each hero, I guess, I then ask which variant do you want? And before people ask, I am playing on the public build, so there are no Freedom 5 variants, and there's no Setting Sun Raw, and tragically, there is no variant for Skyscraper. Because by the rules and stipulations of my stream, I can't actually play the beta on stream. But anyway, anything else is fair game, and then I ask the environment, and then I ask about the difficulty of the villain. Because I want to make sure that people understand who the villain is and can see the team composition before they figure out how badly they want this game to be. Alright, so. Solo or team? Oh, and the first deck gets 2 votes is what we go with. And the first 2 votes are solo, so we're playing a solo villain. And as Boogie points out, there are 24 solo villains. And some number of these have not been featured on my stream. I think. Maybe not, actually. I know we've played Choke Point. And Choke Point was the one that I knew I hadn't played before. So maybe, actually, I have fought all of these on stream. Alright. Iron Legs. And everyone else is afraid to vote Iron Legs. Citizen Don, Chairman, Ennead, Baron Blade. I will ask about the variant after. So I will count that as a vote for Baron Blade. We have 6 votes for 6 different villains. We need a tiebreaker. Ennead sounds fun. I will presume that's a vote for Ennead. Ennead! So I will ask the difficulty question later, but for now, if you don't remember what they are. Advanced. At the start of the villain turn, the top card from beneath the Shrine of the Ennead is moved into the villain play area. On the flip side, increased damage dealt by villain targets by 1. And actually, Advanced is one of the biggest difficulty spikes from Standard to Advanced, just so you know. Because you get more Ennead faster, and then once this is flipped, they do more damage. So that one shot that does like 1 fire, 1 cold, and 1 lightning damage, now it does 2 fire, 2 cold, and 2 lightning damage. Or 2 raw, 3 fire, 3 cold, and 3 lightning damage. So it can be pretty painful. The challenge text. Every villain one-shot has all 3 symbols as keywords, which means that every single time that they move a card into their trash, or the first time each turn they move a card into the trash, everything reacts. So. But we will figure out the difficulty after we've figured out the heroes. And this is the time that I now have to ask how many people are playing. Two votes, 5. We're playing a 5-hero match tonight. So, every hero is open. Not all variants, but every hero. Yeah, challenge Ennead is rough. I mean, like any difficulty adjustment to Ennead is rough. But this is viewer's choice, so I don't have any say. Alright, Absolute Zero is the winner. So, Absolute Zero's base power. Absolute Zero deals himself either 1 cold damage or 1 fire damage, which is pretty plain as far as his variants go, but it is nice in that if you have a module, you can put it into play and immediately be able to trigger its effect. We also have Elemental Wrath. Absolute Zero deals 1 non-hero target 2 cold damage. Makes him immediately able to deal damage, makes him less effective to be able to utilize his modules. We also have Termi-Nation Absolute Zero. Until the end of your next turn, increase all damage dealt to and by Absolute Zero by 2. A tricky power for sure to be used, but it combos really well with effects like Cold Snap or Thermal Shockwave once you have all the modules in play. It's not something you want to immediately use unless you have immediate use, but it can be risky and can be devastating. Alright, so. Two votes, Termi-Nation. Violent Shivers is the name of the game. One vote Haka, 1 vote Chrono, 1 vote Raw, 1 vote Fixer. 2 votes Haka. So when I first started Dolphin's Dive, by the way, the first week had John in it and it was a different stream than the rest. The second week, I decided on the pattern of the first game is my choice, the second game is viewer's choice, the third game is random. And I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to incorporate viewer's choice. And I decided that if I wasn't sure how many people will be watching and participating, so I settled on the first thing that gets 2 votes is what we go with. And I wasn't sure how well that was going to work, but I feel like it's working pretty well. Especially considering how long it takes to get to 2 votes. We haven't gotten a real stalemate yet, which is good. If we ever get to like Sentinels live level of stream, I might be able to push the threshold to 3 or 4. But you know, that's in a dream in which I can actually pull that off, but we haven't reached that point yet, and that's fine. I'm having fun regardless, and I hope you're having fun too. Alright, base Haka. Haka deals 1 target, 2 melee damage, standard damage dealer, but sometimes it's nice to have an immediate source of damage. I also have the Eternal Haka. Draw a card. You may discard a card with Haka in the title. If you do, draw 2 cards. Makes it easier to get to certain cards in his deck. We also have Primordial's Haka. Play a card. If that card is Haka in the title, select a target to gain the benefit of your discarding, which makes it so he could play more cards faster, and he could also play his Haka cards to other targets who might need that damage reduction or extra power boost, or damage boost. And then the newest Haka, the Extreme Primordial's Haka. Select a hero character card. Until the start of your next turn, redirect damage that would be dealt to that target to Haka instead. Whenever Haka is dealt damage this way, he regains 1 HP. Also, there's a semicolon in this power, and I'm not actually sure how many Sentinels cards feature semicolons, which is cool. But yeah, so we have 4 different Hakas, all of them with different utilities. Shall we play base, not Savage, Eternal, Prime Wardens, or Extreme Prime Wardens, Haka? Oh wow, Eternal gets it with the 4th and 5th votes. Alrighty. 3 more heroes to go. Oh, 2 votes Parse. I almost missed it because I blinked and it looked like the same vote twice. Parse. Base power, Parse deals 1 target 2 projectile damage. Again, standard damage dealer, sometimes nice to have. We also have play the bottom card of your deck. If you discarded a card this turn, 1 other player may play the bottom card of their deck. Some might say this is the more fun power. Certainly more random. She goes Fugue State. Alright. I'm seeing FS, and I keep thinking that's FFS. We're playing with Fugue State Parse. FFS! I cannot actually say what FFS stands for, but if you know what FFS stands for, you'll see why it's funny. For Fugue State. Scholar, Expat, Skyscraper, Sentinels. That's 4 different votes. Tacky on. Tacky off. Tacky right. Tacky left. Captain Cosmic. I almost said Captain Cosmit. I don't know what Cosmit is. Sentinels. So, whenever Sentinels are chosen, I'm always tempted to say, alright, so, which version of Dr. Medico are we going to play? Which version of Mainstay are we going to play? Which version of Idealist are we going to play? No, I'm not going to be that picky. I would read out all the cards, but there are too many, so I'm just going to ask base or Adamant Sentinels. Adam. Christopher and Adamant Sentinels reading letters to you. We're playing Adamant. Oops. There. Done. And then lastly, Expat, Skyscrap, Raw. Only 2 versions of Raw. Raw deals 1 target 2 fire damage. Nice standard damage dealer. I feel like I've said that repeatedly. Also Sunrise. Draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards. This is Raw Horus of 2 Horizons. Those are the only 2 versions of Raw. Two votes base. We have a standard damage dealer on our team. Although technically Adamant Sentinels do have a standard damage dealer. Actually, they have more than standard damage dealers. They have counter effects. Alright, so the Ennead has risen and are trying to take power in some area involving things. Setting Sun. No, we're not playing Setting Sun. Mobile Defense, Final Wasteland, Rook City, Court of Blood, Enclave of the Endlings, Omnitron 4. Look at this nice spread of environments. But MDP wins! The Ennead have decided to take part on Baron Blade's mobile defense platform. Alright. So we've mentioned difficulties. We're going to go over this one more time. Advanced. At the start of the villain turn, the top card from beneath the Shrine of the Ennead is moved into the villain play area. On the backside, increased damage dealt by villain targets by 1. Challenge. Every villain one-shot has all 3 symbols as keywords. So now, we could play Advanced, we could play Challenge, we could play Ultimate, or We can play standard. Anything but ultimate. So since Boogie's vote counted for multiple things, I'm not gonna count it as a vote. Because otherwise it's a little unfair to vote more than once. But Jimmy says standard, that's the vote for standard. We're playing standard Ennead. Whew. I mean, like, it could be fun to play with advanced or challenge, but that gets a little scary. I mean, I'm a little more willing to play challenge, honestly. But advanced, just the damage increase on the flip side is pretty trippy. But here we have it. The Ennead versus Termi-Nation Absolute Zero, the Eternal Haka, Fugue State Parse, Adamant Sentinels, and Ra in the mobile defense platform. Chat is being nice. I'd be suspicious. I think we need to figure out the source of flames here. Our power has seen millennia. You shall fall before the Ennead. I'm running out of time, team. Let's put this villain on ice and get out of here. I don't know actually how Jack Frost speaks. I don't even know what his name is, but Absolute Zero. Starts with a coolant blast, cryo chamber, field freeze, and null point calibration units. The Eternal Haka has enduring intercession, Mare, or Mere, I guess. I think that was how it was pronounced. I've not actually listened to the Haka's letters page, but I've been told that it's Mere. Savage Mana, and Vitality Surge. Fugue State Parse has Reveal the Flaws, Segmentation Fault, and 2 targeting arrows. Adamant Sentinels have Coordinated Assault, Good Hero, Bad Hero, Horrifying Dichotomy, and Team Communication. And Ra has Drawn to the Flame, Excavation, Flame Spike, and Solar Flare. Ryan Frost, that's what it was. That's right. Alright, so the Ennead. The power of the Ennead setup. At the start of the game, this card enters play. The power of the Ennead side up. The Shrine of the Ennead is put into play. The villain deck is shuffled. The 9 villain character cards are shuffled and placed beneath the Shrine of the Ennead. The top 5 cards from beneath the Shrine of the Ennead are moved into the villain play area. Gameplay. At the start of the villain turn, if there are no cards beneath the Shrine of the Ennead, this card flips. Whenever there are no villain targets in play, the heroes win. On the flip side, the Ennead Enforce. Gameplay. At the end of the villain turn, each villain target regains 3 HP. Whenever there are no villain targets in play, the heroes win. So, on standard, there's no difference, or I shouldn't say there's no difference. There's not much difference between the front and the back. The back just adds the HP recovery effect to the villain team. But either way, we need to defeat all of the Ennead. And we have the Shrine of the Ennead. Whenever a villain target would be destroyed, flip it over instead. This card and all cards beneath this card are indestructible and cannot be removed from the play area by any means. Alright. What are we starting with? We have Shu, villain, Breath of the Wind. Gameplay. This card is immune to melee and projectile damage. The first time a fire... Was it fire? What is this? Sun? The first time a sun... I think it's sun. The first time a sun or elements card is put into the villain trash each turn, each non-hero target regains 1 HP. Atom. Villain. World Finisher. Gameplay. The first time an Ankh card is put into the villain trash each turn, reveal the cards from the top of the villain deck until a sun card is revealed. Play that card. Shuffle the other revealed cards back into the villain deck. Geb. Villain. Earthquake Speaker. Gameplay. The first time an Elements card is put into the villain trash each turn, this card deals the 2 non-villain targets with the highest HP 2 melee damage each. Nephthys. Villain. Life Warden. Gameplay. The first time an Elements card is put into the villain trash each turn, this card deals each hero target 1 fire damage. The first time an Ankh card is put into the villain trash each turn, each villain target regains 1 HP. Osiris. Villain. Lord of Silence. Gameplay. The first time an Ankh card is put into the villain trash each turn, each player discards 1 card, and each hero deals themselves 1 psychic damage. That's pretty bad for Termi-Nation. Taste of Immortality! 1 shot. Move the top card from beneath the Shrine of the Ennead into the villain play area. All villain targets regain 4 HP. Which is actually fine because they're not going to discard a card with a symbol on it. But now we have Set, Villain, God of Storms. Gameplay. The first time a Sun card is put into the villain trash each turn, play the top card of the villain deck. The first time an Elements card is put into the villain trash each turn, this card deals each hero target 1 lightning damage. So, they're not doing anything right away, but we have 6 of them now. So that's great. No fire damage was dealt. And I don't have a reason to use Violent Shivers. It's a fun power, but I don't have a reason to do it unless I want Absolute Zero to take more damage. So I'm going to put out my null point, just so I have a module. But I'm not going to use my power. Instead, I will draw a Cryo Chamber for some reason. I guess Cryo Chamber could have an effect if villain targets dealt fire damage, which is relevant in this game. Alright, well, Haka does have a damage-dealing power via Mare. Savage Mana would only really serve to put environment targets underneath. Enduring Intercession, actually, in this environment isn't bad, because most of the damage, I believe, is single points of damage. But we don't have Taumoko. But that's something to think about. Enduring Intercession combos really well in environments with environment cards that deal single points of damage, because Haka with Taumoko and Enduring Intercession would basically make the environment not do anything to the heroes. I found this out in where was it? It was Temple of Zhulong. Even though that does have damages that could be more than one, like Zhulong himself does more than 1 damage, but like the Apprentice Poisoner is then inert, at least. Which is nice. Alright. Set is in play, so our priority is set. Because once he flips, we get lots of cards. So since set is our priority, it probably makes sense to target him. Especially since the other card plays don't really make much sense. And let's see what the bottom of Parse's deck is. It is Quick Calculation, which doesn't really serve an immediate purpose. Or, well, I mean, it does serve a purpose. It doesn't discard a card, that's what I'm going to say. It's not discarding a card. And Extrasensory Awareness is normally a great card, except against the Ennead, you're going to discard a card, which is going to trigger effects. So you don't really want Extrasensory Awareness. Ordinarily, the card you put on the bottom of the deck is something you would probably want to put into play, though, with this version of Parse. But yeah, so I guess if I'm going to think about, I'm going to put Recompile on the bottom. And then I can play that and discard cards, and then someone else can play a card. Alright, so whenever you have team communication, you should play it. You have a Human Shield, a Second Chance, a Good Hero, Bad Hero, or Restorative Burst. So that ends our chain of card plays. Yes, Recompile would. So Recompile, which is on the bottom of my deck, says discard up to 3 cards, draw twice as many cards as you discarded this way. After you play that bottom card and you do things with it, then the next text triggers, which says, if you discarded a card this turn, one other player may play the bottom card of their deck. Which means, since I did use Recompile to discard a card, one other player could play the bottom of their deck. So, and yeah, Jay-Z, that is, Extrasensory Awareness is at least something that can be discarded by Recompile. So that's good. It does serve a purpose in this game. True story. Mainstay with Human Shield would be nice, but only if I can get Durasteel Chains. I guess, like, the redirect is optional, but I would have to discard 2 cards to keep it in play. It's okay, kid. Stay down. Today's not your day to be a hero, he says to the potential sidekick. But what else could I really do? I guess, like, well, like a Good Hero, Bad Hero is not the one, but Horrifying Dichotomy would do 8 points damage to set. So I'm going to take advantage of that +1 we have there. So it'd be fun if I could trigger a Rise ability on an Ennead, so I can move one of them to the bottom of its deck instead. But they don't get destroyed. The first time a non-hero target is destroyed, instead they get incapacitated, so that can't happen. I don't want to use Medicos, so do I want to do more damage with Mainstay, or do I want to use Idealist and reduce damage dealt by Set by 1? Because Set does do something if an element is put into trash, so yeah, I think Idealist because I don't really care about the damage irreducibility. Unique capabilities, there we go. So, maximum damage to Set. I mean, I could use Flame Spike for the damage. That's 3 damage to Set by the Nemesis bonus and the +1. And Empire would do 4. So Set would be down to 6. That sort of burns my Flame Spike. I could play Solar Flare. That would do 1 fewer point of damage, but Solar Flare I don't really keep out for long anyway. Could put out Drawn to the Flame, and this would do 2 points to Set and 1 point to the other villains. Boogie would Drawn to the Flame. That would do 5 fewer points to Set than the Flame Spike, though. But I guess like if I do Drawn to the Flame now, I could Flame Spike the next turn. So that's probably a bit better. But I don't really want to use Drawn to the Flame because it's possible that all the villain targets will regain 1 HP. If an Ankh card is put into villain trash, they regain 1 HP. So instead, I'm just going to keep focusing fire on Set. And we get the Staff of Ra! MDP Turbo Lift. When this card enters play, reveal cards from the top of the environment deck until a structure or level card is revealed. Put it into play, discard the other revealed cards, and destroy this card. We get Propulsion Systems. Structure. If this card is reduced to 0 or fewer HP, everyone dies! Game over! No! That doesn't really happen. It can happen. Blast of Flame, one-shot Sun. The villain target with the highest HP deals the hero target with the highest HP 4 fire damage. There's some damage. And now Shu, everyone's going to regain 1, so it's good that I didn't draw into the Flame. And then this is going to play the top card of the villain deck. So let's do this first, I guess. Because it's not really going to do much anyway, but... And then Set plays the top card. That card is Elemental Storm. One-shot elements. The villain target with the lowest HP deals each hero target 1 lightning damage, 1 fire damage, and 1 cold damage. Oh, guess what? He's been stun bolted. This is only gonna hurt Ra. So bunches of zeros. Lots of zeros, because we actually have 9 hero character cards, making for 27 instances of damage attempts. Now elements are going off. So 2 non-villains at the highest. Each hero target. Order's not gonna matter. Yeah. Do this on Parse for a minimum damage. This is gonna do 1 to everyone except Ra. This is gonna do 0 to everyone except Ra. 9 heroes versus 9 villains. I wonder if the viewers were that astute when they chose that. We could destroy Drawn to the Flame. I mean, Field Freeze, if I had done Violent Shivers, this would have done 2 points of damage at the very least. But if I had used Violent Shivers, I would have taken a lot of damage this turn because of the Ennead. So I don't know that that would have really mattered. Coolant Blast, I've been dealt 1 fire damage. This would do 2 points of damage to Set. So that's at least something. And Coolant Blast in general can be useful against the Ennead because they do lots of fire damage. Sub-Zero Atmosphere, which doesn't serve a purpose in this game. I think Haka's shielding because I want to get more cards. Vitality Surge would give me more hit points. Haka's shielding doesn't give me hit points, but it does give me damage reduction. But it does give me more cards. And actually, I'm going to lose a Vitality Surge because I don't know that I'm ever going to play that card. And all right, just keep aiming at set. You count 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! Yeah. I was thinking Sentinels are 4 heroes and 5 plus 4 is 9, but that's not how you math. That breaks the pattern, so I reject the reality. I reject your reality and substitute my own. Buffer Overflow is another card that seems like it would be amazing with Parse, except against the Ennead. If you discard the card, it still triggers effects. And if this card gets destroyed, you play the top card of the villain deck. So if it accidentally gets destroyed by something like, I don't know, Field Freeze, then you play cards. So that's bad. I think just targeting arrow on set again. No, that's a waste. It's a waste. I'm not going to do that. I don't really have anything else I really want to do, but I could target arrow on Adam because set can easily go down. I'm not worried about set. Alright, so Buffer Overflow is a discard, Extrasensory Awareness is a discard. Adam. Target arrow the propulsion systems. This is Parse just going, this game's unwinnable! Data mining would only really, would only destroy environments. Reveal the flaws. If Shu comes out, or not Shu, if Nui comes out, Nuit. I guess it is Nuit, right? If Nuit comes out. But we usually focus Nuit at that point anyway. Yeah, reveal the flaws is pointless. Syntactic analysis, quick calculation, extrasensory awareness, targeting arrow, syntactic analysis, data mining. Alright, now we get a random card play. I don't want to do raw. Fire Blast. There we go, that takes out set. Yay! Oh, it's Newt. Okay. If Newt comes out, we would have to worry about damage reduction, except... I mean, I guess we could also have to worry about environment damage reduction, but I don't really care about the environment. Mobile Defense Platform, when I played Mobile Defense Platform, I'm just like, alright, I don't have to worry about the environment, I'm just gonna focus on the villains. Like, Mobile Defense Platform's like a weak environment. It doesn't give you any benefits, but it also doesn't really hurt you too much. Like, the only thing to really watch out for is that you don't destroy propulsion systems by reducing its HP to 0. If Battalion Gunner comes out with Bridge, you kind of have to worry about damage. But that's it. Sorry, I'm getting a little warm. Alright, so we got unique capabilities. Let's play that. So... which one would I want? Durasteel Chains with Human Shield is a good combination. As long as I can keep it funded. I don't really want to do Hippocratic Oath. We're kind of high on hit points. Coliginous Form is usually fun, but think Durasteel Chains would have a little more utility with Human Shield, and Aura Vision's a little boring, although it would help fund Human Shield. I'm gonna do Durasteel Chains. And I draw a Team Communication. Here we go. So we get Fleeing in the Darkness, Dark Delusions, Aura of Vision, Positive Energy. So I don't have the card that... Blackout. I don't have Blackout. Blackout is one that we would love to have. This would work really well with Absolute Zero, actually. But also work really well if you target an Ennead, who then does a bunch of Nemesis damage to the other Ennead. Yeah, it never helps you, but it barely hurts you. And yeah, Skydeck actually does help. Whenever a target is destroyed, put it under its associated deck. That helps with, like, you know, the Paradaha Magnifica, of course. Or Thugs. That is, like, probably the only card that has a possible effect that's beneficial. You could argue that the shield generators are beneficial and that it stops you from accidentally destroying propulsion systems. But yeah. So I think I want that Human Shield. So we're focusing on Atom, and Atom doesn't do damage unless a card says to. We do have that +1 from targeting arrow, so I probably do want to take advantage of it. So I'm going to just go ahead and do big damage to Atom. Also, Durasteel Chains is a +1, so that's useful. Yeah, I would have to actually destroy propulsion systems directly instead of reducing its HP to 0. Which only Parse is capable of. The other heroes lack environment destruction. Well, Staff of Ra would actually be nice. Drowns of the Flame would hit the propulsion systems, but that's okay. Yeah. Staff of Ra. This will do 3 damage to Atom. And 2 to the Nemesis. Argent sending it to the void is fine? I mean, you don't want to quote me on this. This is... I want to say I read this on the forums, but I don't know that it's actually happened. But I think... And I was not a playtester at the time, so I can't actually say that this was the case, even though I am a playtester now. I think that the first iteration of propulsion systems said when this card is destroyed, you lose. And then people threw a stink because he could play against Omnitron, who destroys all environment cards with... what's the card? I don't remember it, but he plays a card that destroys all environment cards. And then you automatically lose the game because the villain played the one card that makes you lose the game. So they changed it to be reduced to 0. Terraforming. So I don't know that it's necessarily like thematic, not per se, but like if the intention is for this to be a thing that you don't want to take out, you don't want it to just be when this card is destroyed. So Battalion Brute, minion. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 1 melee and 1 lightning damage. Devastating Aurora would also do it. And hey, means they can redirect this, so this card's not doing anything. Mechanically it's needed, but thematically it's hilarious. Rise to power! One shot. Move the top card from beneath the Shrine of the Ennead into the villain play area. Play the top card of the villain deck. We have Tefnut, villain, Warrior of the Flood. Gameplay. The first time an Elements card is put into the villain trash each turn, this card deals the hero target with the lowest HP 2 melee damage. Taste of Immortality. Oh boy, we're really getting the Ennead out. I thought this wasn't advanced. Now we have Newt. Villain, She Who Protects. Gameplay. Produce damage dealt to villain targets other than Newt by 1. The first time a Sun card is put into the villain trash each turn, Newt regains 2 HP. Oh, and this is the start of turn 2, because we destroyed Set. So far we have not gotten a card into the trash that has a symbol on it. Absolute Zero is playing Frostbound Drain. We do not have the Exothermic Transducer, but we could do more damage to Atom. Except Newt's out. It's really a question of who do you want to focus damage on. I mean, it's sort of balanced by the fact that that +1 counters the -1, but that's temporary. I'm just going to focus on Newt now. Remember when I said that, like, I don't need damage reduction? Sort of would like that now. Tayaha! Gauge. This one's actually not bad. Not as bad because it doesn't discard a card on the villain deck. Telekinetic Wallop. Idealist, it increases it by 2. Mainstay would only increase it by 1, so Idealist is still better. We can throw one on Newt. We can throw one on Atom. A Tomb. It's a Tomb, right? I'm supposed to say a Tomb. I just listened to the Ennead episode. I guess I didn't just listen to it. It was like 2 weeks ago, but it's a Tomb because I remember Christopher and Adam making jokes about tombs. So then a Tomb came up. Just one tomb. One tomb came up. Or something. I would say Osiris next because he makes players discard cards. Summon Staff. Excellent. Remember when I said I would probably never play Solar Flare? This is probably the opportunity to play Solar Flare. Because it's not going to be the end of my turn for a while, and this would benefit my Flame Spike, my base power, and Drawn to the Flame. And then Battalion Mechanic. Oh darn. Minion. At the end of the environment turn, each structure card regains 1 HP. Oh no! The propulsion systems! They're gonna regain hit points! Elemental Storm. We read this one already. Good news, this can all redirect to Mainstay for 0. Except Absolute Zero will regain a hit point. Unfortunately, we used up Haka's -2. So I am fast forwarding through this if you haven't noticed, because 27 instances of no damage makes for boring screenplay. So which elements goes first? Regain HP, deal damage, deal damage, deal damage to the lowest. Well, let's have Shu go off. Hold on a second. I want to do this thing. I should have done this before the stream started. I decided tonight that I'm gonna go and drink. Because if John can drink stuff during his games, I can drink stuff during my games. So I have some actual drinks with me. I have Pinot Grigio. I'm not sure if that actually is showing up. Let's see. Yeah. Some Pinot Grigio. Because when I don't drink Mike's Hard Lemonade, I just drink wine. It's an actual drink. So. Nice apple juice. Woo! Apple juice. Yeah, it's actually apple juice. I'm actually too afraid to drink on stream. So I put apple juice into that bottle to make people think I'm a hardcore drinker. So this one's going to do 0 damage to everyone after redirects. Thankfully, it's not as many redirects. And then, so one of these is going to do 2 damage to 2 targets, and the other one does 2 damage to the lowest. And the lowest is the Idealist. And the 2 with the highest are Ra and Eternal Haka. Frankly, I think they both can take it. I mean, Haka does have the issue of having the Nemesis bonus, but we are pretty high on hit points. And that ends the turn. Alright. Absolute Zero has been dealt 3 fire damage since their last turn because we played Frostbound Drain. In fact, I could have probably had Absolute Zero take this fire damage just to power up Coolant Blast, but it's still useful to have the 3 fire damage. How many ongoings do we have? We have Gauge, Human Shield, Solar Flare. Yeah, let's destroy Solar Flare. We don't need that card. Nah, I mean, it does sort of make some of his fire capabilities less effective, but I'm gonna put out Cryo Chamber. Especially since we don't have the Isothermic Transducer yet. And if we do, we could use this power. I don't think I've honestly used this power yet. Because generally I just sort of like say, whatever, I have a -1 to fire damage, but I can heal more. But I could use this if I need to, and I can really use Isothermic Transducer to great effect. You feel like in some ways the stream is more family friendly than the actual game. Are you talking about me or just Handelabra games versus Sentinels of the Multiverse? Because Sentinels of the Multiverse is pretty dark. But I think hero comics are generally dark. I don't know because I don't actually read hero comics. I don't read comics. I don't read. I don't really read comics, which is a little odd, I guess. But like I'm listening to Letters page and I'm trying to imagine like a world in which there are all these different comics and all this multiverse stuff happening. And I'm trying to like picture like current hero comics like Spider-Man and Superman and stuff. And I know they exist, but I don't think I've like seen them in person before, so I don't even know what a real superhero comic looks like. I used to read Sonic the Hedgehog comics when I was like 8. That's the extent of my comic read. And I honestly can't even remember that well how those comics were structured. Current Marvel comics have gone off the rails. It's almost like Oblivion is upon us. Ooh, Rampage could be cool. Except I don't really think. I don't know. I mean, like, I probably want to save that for after Newt's gone. And if I have, actually, no. If I have Punish the Weak, that's probably not going to be too effective unless somehow I can take out all the Ennead with it. I guess I'm going to take it with the minion, and then you have it. Not that we've really been worrying about the environment at all. But I can just keep doing this, especially now that I have Taiaha. Rampage! It's a sign that I should have played Rampage. We don't know what's on the bottom of my deck, right? But if I play Quick Calculation, I will know what's on the bottom of my deck. But Syntactic Analysis is pretty good. I can destroy the propulsion systems, but they're not really a danger just yet. I can put out Critical Multiplier, but I don't know what's on the bottom of my deck. I'm gonna put out a Critical Multiplier. And then I can focus on getting discards. But I got a Buffer Overflow instead, which I'm not really happy about, but it's there. It's happened. Okay. Critical Multiplier. Yes, discard 2. So it doesn't really seem like I'm losing guys. So I'm going to lose these things. And I'm going to regret that decision later. Blackout. I wish I could make Raw do fire damage this way. But I don't think I want to. ESRB rating warning for Sentinels. Infrequent mild alcohol, tobacco, or drug use, or references infrequent mild cartoon or fantasy violence. Yeah. And we have timelines where the father dies, we have timelines where the daughter dies and the father goes mad. It's all sorts of messed up. I'm thinking positive energy. Or I could put out Aura Vision. I'm gonna put out Aura Vision. This will help fund the human shield. And just damage New It. Okay, I have to do maximum fire damage this turn, so Flame Spike does 5 damage to Newt. So Drowns to the Flame's gonna do 4. If I do Pyre first, I can take out Newt. Fixer is a ghost possessing his own zombie body. That's the best part. Alright, take out Newt. There's no more damage reduction to non-Newt targets. And Battalion Mechanic's dead. So we're doing 4 damage to everything. Why would you play Drawn to the Flame? There's no villain ongoing cards out there. You can't do damage to anything. Honestly, this is really fun. I might want to keep Solar Flare out. Tamboko. I do have to watch out for the propulsion systems. Scorched Earth. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is going to do 5 damage to Ra. I'm going to do it. I like this. I like this Solar Flare. It's really killing the Ennead. Worst damage card ever. Oh no! Another Battalion Mechanic came out. Whatever shall I do? Oh no! The propulsion systems are gaining the hit points. The Grave Beckons. A one-shot Onk. Destroy each non-villain target with 3 or fewer HP. Well, I don't want to discard the Grave Beckons. It destroys the Battalion Brute. And the Battalion Mechanic. Oh no! I wish I could destroy propulsion systems. What I should have done was more damage to it so that Grave Beckons would destroy it. Alright. A tomb's gonna reveal, or a tomb, sorry, a tomb is gonna reveal a sun. Each villain's gonna regain 1 hit point. Each player discards a card, and each hero deals themselves 1 psychic damage. Oh darn. So discards, whoops. Discards, Sub-Zero Atmosphere is basically dead. I could play it to destroy it with Field Freeze, I guess, but that's okay. Savage Man is basically dead. What if Haka were to sit on the propulsion systems? That's actually not possible. Because you'd have to destroy the propulsion systems with damage, which is not possible. But that would be amusing if he's just sitting on that thing. Extra sensory awareness. Ooh, no, I don't want to do this. This is not good. No! Because I'm going to deal myself damage right away. Parse, no! Parse, what are you doing? Parse, it's your fault. Good hero, bad hero. Excavation. Alright, so Parse. Well, I guess all of these could redirect to Mainstay. Except Ra has a +1 by Staff of Ra, and Fugue State Parse has a +1 by Critical Multiplier. But everyone else could redirect to Mainstay, except Mainstay's also going to do himself damage, but this one can't redirect anyway. So we'll just have these people who were silly do themselves damage. And then everyone else can redirect. Shu stabs the propulsion systems. The defense platform just keeps going with Shu dangling from it. Oh, actually, I didn't even pay attention. There were nemesis happening there. Whatever, it's fine. But yeah, I forgot that the Sentinels are actually nemesis of Mainstay. Oh man. Alright. Blast of Flame. No. Can I redirect this to absolute 0, please? This is still the start of turn. Focused Apertures. Excellent. Dominion. I'm okay with that. Exploit Vulnerability. That's fine. It's actually okay. Sentinel Tactics. Flesh of the Sun God. I'm fine with that. MDP Turbo Lift. We are getting Sky Deck. Level. When this card enters play, destroy any other level cards. Whenever a target is destroyed, put it under its associated deck. Can we put... Yeah, can we put Nephthys under the villain deck? And we're getting cards. The Desert's Wrath. One-shot elements. Destroy all environment cards. Oh no! The propulsion systems! The villain target with the lowest HP deals each hero target X projectile damage, where X equals the number of cards destroyed by this card. No. Ooh. Well, I guess this doesn't really do anything. Propulsion systems are now on the bottom of the environment deck, except Newt's gonna keep shuffling things around, so it doesn't even really matter that it's there. And I don't even think there's a thing that searches for it from the trash, so it doesn't even matter. I'm gonna redirect Raw's damage, because if I'm gonna keep Solar Flare out, we sort of want to minimize Raw's damage. The other guys, I'm just gonna let them take the damage. This is another case where if it was destroyed, if the text said when this card is destroyed you lose the game, it would have been an instant loss. Indeed. We are triggering all the effects. So this one, redirect all. So Human Shield has been really paying off in this game. Really pays off against matches with multiple instances of 1 damage. This card deals the hero at the lowest, which is Idealist. We'll redirect it. Makes them even for hit points. These two can take it. Thus ends the villain turn. Do we have any equipments in the trash now? Cold damage is increased by 1, so I could play Field Freeze and destroy nothing with it. I've been dealt no fire damage, so I could destroy Coolant Blast. I could destroy at least 1 Dominion. I could destroy Buffer Overflow! That's a great idea, isn't it? I could destroy Gauge. I could destroy Exploit Vulnerability. I could destroy Sentinel Tactics. I could destroy Solar Flare. Nah, lots of fun things I could do there, but certainly Field Freeze, I think, because modular realignment is not going to really serve any purpose. I guess modular realignment, I would deal myself 0 fire and 2 cold, so I would regain 2 hit points. But that's fine. Yeah, I don't really see myself using Gauge at this point. I don't want to destroy Buffer Overflow, as much as I joked about that. Nothing bad will happen if you destroy Buffer Overflow. I could destroy Critical Multiplier. It was so annoying when it went off unnecessarily. Nah, I'm not really... I mean, I'm thinking I could destroy 1 Dominion. Haka presently has 15 cards in his hand. He can lose a Dominion. I'm also thinking about Coolant Blast. Oh, no, actually Coolant Blast will do 1 point of damage. So it does serve some purpose. Exploit vulnerability, I guess, isn't a big deal. Hopefully no other Ennead comes out, and even if they do, it's not even a big deal. So. So for those of you watching at home who have no idea what Sentinel strategy is supposed to look like, and you're questioning why I destroyed friendly cards with that card, it's because it increased the damage that Absolute Zero did. He deals each non-hero target damage based on the number of ongoing cards destroyed by this card. Ordinarily, you would think you would only play this to destroy villain ongoing cards, but you can use it to destroy hero ongoing cards, especially ones that have negative effects. Something that you might want to try someday is to set up a game with Mr. Fixer followed by Absolute Zero, and have Absolute Zero play Bloody Knuckles and use his power, and then have Absolute Zero use Field Freeze to destroy Bloody Knuckles, and then there's no more risk of Bloody Knuckles destroying Mr. Fixer. I mean, I was worried about Violet Shivers, but honestly, with Mainstay's block, I can sort of prevent damage that would be dealt to Absolute Zero unnecessarily. So the only real issue is I need, like, a real good reason to use Violent Shivers. But Parse does have syntactic analysis that we can use to try to get some good cards for Absolute Zero. So I'm going to use Violent Shivers. I'm going to take this risk. No, don't play Bloody Knuckles in Absolute Zero. Although, technically, Violent Shivers is sort of Bloody Knuckles. Fun fact. Alright, I'm gonna get out Tomoko. And then you have it. I was thinking of Rampage. But... it won't hit Shu, is the problem. I mean, even if it doesn't hit Shu, it still hits 5 targets for 5 damage. Whatever. I'll put out Punish the Weak or something. I don't know. So, I haven't had much choice with my recent decisions, but Atum is still a priority, and Osiris is a priority. Alright, so now let's go ahead and syntactic analysis on Absolute Zero! Glacial structure and modular realignment. That's not really what I was hoping for. Glacial structure can be played. Modular realignment. There's nothing in my trash that's an equipment card. And I would deal myself 4 fire damage and 6 cold damage. So I would regain 6 hit points. I could redirect the 4 fire to Mainstay, who would take only 1 damage. No, I'm not mathing right. Also, there's focus apertures. So it's 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, not 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. No, 1 cold damage plus 2 by Violet Shivers, plus another 2 by Violet Shivers, plus 1 by focused apertures. Yeah, that's 6. But 1 fire damage plus 2 by Violent Shivers plus 2 by Violet Shivers minus 1. Okay, no. Oh, no, minus 1. Well, oh, Cryo Chamber. That's the one I'm forgetting. 4 fire damage, 7 cold damage. But if I redirect it to Mainstay, he doesn't have the plus 2 to damage dealt to him. He has a minus 1. That's still going to be 1 fire damage increased by 2, reduced by 1. That's 2 fire damage. On the other hand, if he deals himself fire damage, this powers up Coolant Blast. So let's do that. No. And null points. Absolute Zero regained 7 HP. Oh my gosh. Alright. We got Impossible Shots. Throw that on Atum. Get a recompile. Unfortunately, no other player could play a card. Yes. And this would be a time to blackout on Absolute Zero. I don't really want good hero, bad hero, and I'm gonna ditch Coordinated Assault. And does Absolute Zero have a card he wants to play? He has Impale, but that's not gonna help right now. So let's give him a card draw, like Focused Apertures. That doesn't help. All right, Blackout. If Wraith deals damage this way, if I hit Absolute Zero, he deals each non-hero target 4 Infernal. If I hit Raw, that's 3 Infernal. No, it's also 4. Because of Staff of Ra. Okay, that's a bit better. Oh my gosh, Sentinels can use a power. Damage. Somewhere. Ra still has Drawn to the Flame. He's gonna do 4 damage with this again. Scorched Earth is also gonna do 4 damage. Scorched Earth was gonna do so much more when the propulsion systems were in play, but Atomb saw through that plan. But I could use Idealist to reduce Atomb by 1, so I'll throw this on Osiris. Every time we make that 1+2+1 joke, your mind flashes back to music class when you'd sing stuff like 1-5, 3-5, 2-5 as ways to learn intervals. Oh, singing. So it's like 1-5, 3-5, 2-5. I can't sing, so obviously that's not good. But that's what your meaning is. Like if a scale goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, you'd be like 1, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5. Okay. I was thinking more of like, when you first said that, I was thinking more of like learning time signatures. Because I remember a lot in high school, we for some reason played a lot of music pieces that were in 7/8 time. So it was always like 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. So that's what I was thinking of at first. All right, so hit Atomb. Wait, no. No, if we Scorched Earth and we Drawn to the Flame, that's 8 damage. Atomb's dead. So I can't really do anything. I'm going to throw this on Shu because it's not melee. You did that too. I'm not a singer. If you didn't know by now, I'm not a singer. But I did play in a band. I played sax through all of grade school and a little bit of college. I played flute at some point in college because I got tired of sax. Like, sax is like the jazz instrument. It's the jazz instrument, except I hate jazz. So I got tired and fed up of playing songs that like sax was delegated the worst role because sax is not good for what we're trying to sound like, but flute does. So I'm gonna play flute instead so I can actually do shit. And I had some fun with that, but I haven't played that for a while. I also learned piano. I'm not really that good at piano, but I did learn piano at one point. Arpeggios. I remember that word. I honestly don't remember what it is. Make up really lame sentences to sing them to. Arpeggio. I don't remember what arpeggios. Oh, is that like when it's like 1 3 5 8 3 1 3 5 8 5 3 1 1 4 6 8 4 6 4 1 or something? I don't know. Yeah, because the Rook City theme has sax in it. Go figure. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Okay. That's what that is. Okay. I know what those are. They're basically chords. Because you can't sing multiple notes, and you can't, on a sax, play multiple notes. You can on the piano. Actually, learning piano helped me appreciate a lot more of like what happens with like musical instruments. Like when you're in a band and you have the flute playing one thing, you have the saxes playing something else, you have the trumpets playing something else, and the conductor has them play things separately. Like, can the flutes and the horns play the melody? All right, now the trumpets and the saxes play your thing. It's like, why are these different notes? And why do they sound so good when they come together? Then you play piano, you're like, oh, they're chords. They're chords. That's when I realized the power of music. Alright, I didn't read Bridge. Basically, increased damage dealt to environment targets by 1, increased damage dealt by environment targets by 1. Death's Grasp, one-shot Ankh. The villain target with the lowest HP deals the hero target with the lowest HP 3 infernal damage. Don't discard. Throw that on mainstay, because it will just redirect it anyway. Discards again. HP recovery again. So, and then, does modular alignment allow me to put it into my hand? We'll put focused apertures in the trash, and then I can get it back. Oh my gosh, Haka, what are you gonna discard? Jeez. Vitality Surge, I guess. Data mining and Parse, you can increase your next damage that you're gonna deal immediately. Dark Delusions is good. I'm gonna lose Coordinated Assault again. And I can Staff of Ra, or I can bring my Summon Staff out. So Parse, deal yourself damage. Ra, deal yourself damage. Absolute Zero, save yourself. And then everyone else redirect to mainstay. Barbershop singing, which is like chords on steroids. That is true. Also, I forgot again that these are nemesis. Erg! Actually, ooh, okay. I can actually use Critical Multiplier to effect. But I have to remember that I can't redirect all of the mainstay damage. So, alright, so we'll do this. And then Nephthys goes off. And then discards. Actually, I think I'm gonna do Cryo Chamber, because then I could destroy Cryo Chamber if I ever have the opportunity to. And I said I was gonna do Vitality Surge, but I'm gonna play Savage Mana instead. I'm gonna just rewind and change all of these decisions. Data mining, though, that's gonna stay the same. Now, who wants to deal damage? Mainstay has a +1. So we'll throw this on Mainstay. Discard Coordinated Assault, discard Staff of Ra. So again, Ra redirects. Actually, no, because we expect Mainstay to take some number of damage. So I'm actually going to do that. That's fine. Parse now is not going to do damage. Absolute Zero would. So now I need one of these guys to redirect to Mainstay. I'll have Idealist do it. Redirect to Mainstay. So Sentinels use the power, so Sentinels can use a power, so Mainstay can deal damage and take advantage of that +1. If I take out Osiris, does this actually stop the rest of this? This probably does, doesn't it? Aha, it does. Okay, so we figured out a way to minimize the damage. Variations on Heart and Soul. He sat down, played Heart and Soul, and turned it into a medley with every song. Yeah, so actually Mainstay can take this damage, because that's fine. And then Nephthys again. The Recorder, also known as Bane of My Existence. I actually, there was some YouTube video, I think, of someone playing professional Recorder, and it was weird. I actually wanted to sort of get my... I don't have a Recorder anymore, but I wanted to, actually see what professional Recorders sound like. You know, this is a waste to give this to Mainstay, though. Here's the real meta here. I can give this +1 to someone who's actually going to be able to use it. Like Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero can use it. Especially since he's not going to deal himself damage now. Because Mainstay can already take out Osiris by himself, so have... Doesn't even matter who. but redirect this to mainstay. Sentinels dealt damage. They may use a power, so mainstay can take out Osiris and end the rest of this. This is actually what's happening on stream right now. Cold Snap with Dominion. Impossible Shot. Unfortunately, it is impossible for the Impossible Shot to hit Shu, and you might think that makes it a possible shot, but it does not. So I know that Tefnut's flip side involves discards, so I don't want to destroy Tefnut. Geb has put the top card of the deck on the bottom of their deck. That actually is really good for Parse. We'll know what's on the bottom of Parse's deck. And we'll actually know what's on the bottom of other decks too, so that's really good for really good for Parse. Between the Lines is drawn. Positive energy. Alright, so that's damage. He's so sick of this. Hey, Logic Gate, aren't you the one who plays my games parallel to me? Have you finished this game yet? I feel like I've been diddly-daddling. Diddly-dilly-dilly-shelly. Ooh, fire damage. This game's gonna end fast. Throw that on Geb. You do sometimes, but today you did not. Hey, there is someone who does professional reporter. Perfect. This empties my bottle. This is the last of my Pinot Grigio. I can do this to absolute 0 to power up his crowd. There's a coolant blast. Actually, I don't have to do that because yeah. Battalion Mechanic again. Taste of Immortality. Oh, nope. Game's not over yet. It was ooh. 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 I can use Buffer Overflow. Yes. So, we're not getting another Ennead out. Your plan failed. Alright, Elemental Storm. So everything except Absolute Zero's cold redirects. Buffalo Overflow. I mean, I could do this fire damage to Absolute Zero, but no. Cold Snap is most likely going to kill most things. Yeah. Yeah. I think we'll have to go into Haka's turn. Oh, the humanity. We have to go to Haka's turn. You're right. If this were challenge mode, it would not be as good. Although, if this were challenge mode, all the effects would have triggered, at which case it wouldn't matter anymore. All the effects would have triggered because the first symbol was put into the trash already, so yeah. And actually in challenge mode, that means you could discard the second card in each turn, but yeah, I don't know. We actually used Buffer Overflow in an Ennead game to great effect. Are we done yet? We're almost done. Obviously it wouldn't work if it were the first card play, but in this exact situation it wouldn't have mattered. Alright, so damage, damage, and damage. But the Nephthys damage isn't going to go through. So we're gonna win. It's just a matter of waiting for it. All right, Parse. I guess nope. It doesn't matter. We're gonna win. You don't know what you've done. Oh right, actually, you're right. I say you're right to myself. This ends the game right now because I forgot about the +1 by critical multiplier, because that happened like 20 minutes ago. But I forgot about focused apertures, and that's going to kill Nephthys, so it's over. This game had a lot of AoE damage. It was pretty interesting. But we managed to win against the standard Ennead. It wasn't that it was a straightforward match, though. They didn't actually destroy any of our stuff, though. They didn't play their cards to destroy equipments or ongoings, so it was nice in that regard, but I don't know. I had fun. I enjoyed that game. Might have been a little too easy. It would have been more fun to have advanced or challenge, but I don't know. I prefer standard Ennead. I mean, it's generally the case that advanced or challenge makes the game more unbalanced. That's true. But with the Ennead, it just feels like it's unfairly so. I don't know. I feel like it makes the game too hard and not... Like, it turns it more into, like, you have to really speed your kill against them before it gets too overwhelming. But with standard Ennead, it's like... I don't know. More fun. I have more fun with standard Ennead because I'm not as worried about losing. That's a bad thing to say. It implies I only like games that I win, which is not true. I've had fun games where I lost. I've had not fun games where I won. I had fun in this game, even though you might think it was a cakewalk, but hey, it was a fun match. Alright, so, that is going to wrap it up. It is 9:13. I've been streaming for 2 hours. I don't want to try another match. The last time I did a random match, it was awful. But that does wrap up Dolphin's Dive this week. If you missed Sentinels Live on Tuesday, I guest hosted that stream because Jeremy couldn't make it. And I actually was the person who was streaming. So technically I've streamed 2 streams on Handelabra games this week. So if you're not happy with this stream and you're not happy with that stream, then there's something wrong here. But hopefully you enjoyed this stream. Hopefully you enjoyed these streams in general. I do like the repeat viewers. I enjoy my rapport I have with you guys. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. If I got no viewers, then viewers' choice would be, alright, choose solo or team. And then for an hour, I just play Breath of the Wild. And then someone comes in and is like, is this a stream? And I go, yes, it is. You get to answer this question. And then I never hear from them again. That's what could happen. But thankfully, people like me, so I get to keep streaming. But anyway, that does wrap up Dolphin's Dive. If you enjoyed this in particular stream, this sort of streaming, I stream every Thursdays at 7 p.m. with regular, more strategy-focused games. If you feel that I'm not doing strategy to great effect, I know that today I got a little carried away with conversations about music theory and music instruments, which is sort of more akin to what Sentinels Live does. Feel free to voice a complaint in my direction. I do want to make sure that this stream is strategy-centric and discusses things that you might not have considered as a plan. Today we did get to see a field freeze that destroyed 3 hero ongoing cards that I didn't have to destroy, which is nice. But if you feel that I'm not really displaying strategy to great effect, feel free to discuss it with me and I'll figure out how to improve the stream. We all want the same thing. We want a great stream, and so helping me help you is what we can do best for that. But if you like Sentinels of the Multiverse in general, you should give this channel, Handelabra Games, a follow. Every Tuesday there's a Sentinels Live hosted by Jeremy and John, 2 of the Handelabra employees and actually the owners of the company who are responsible for this game. And in the future they are going to be streaming more non-Sentinels games. They released Bottom of the Ninth in the past several months. I have not followed that game too much, but they have released a second game that was at first mobile exclusive, then it was released to Steam, and it's a fun game that you should check out especially if you like baseball. Even if you don't like baseball, there's an element of strategy in that game beyond what baseball serves to offer, so it's nice. They are also working on releasing their 3rd game, which is One Deck Dungeon, and their Kickstarter for that is live, and that is actually something that I should make sure I post a link to, because I would be awful if I did not. And I'm doing this, actually I could do it here. You should be sure to check it out and be sure to back it if you have not already. They hope to be able to have it funded to be able to bring One Deck Dungeon to you digitally. I don't know much about One Deck Dungeon personally, but what I do see of it, it looks exciting. So that is the link to the Kickstarter. They are presently at $12,923 out of their $20,000 goal. So they are about 60%? No, not 60. Is it 60? 72%, right? No, 12 times 5 is 60. No, I did math right. 60%. They are 60% of the way to their goal, but there are 28 days left, which means that they're very well towards their goal, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to support them, because you will get some extra bonuses based on your level of support, as typical of most Kickstarters. And there's some stretch goals. I don't remember if they've actually mentioned it. I do know, yes, at 20,000, One Deck Dungeon is fully funded. At 25,000, Phoenix's Den will be added to the treasure chest. Treasure chest is a special level of backing that you get some extra goodies. At 30,000, there will be animated dungeon effects. At 35,000, there will be a new hero. So Phoenix's Den was a dungeon. Kaliana Asmadi is a hero. And there's a special stretch goal of the Forest of Shadows expansion. Currently the only expansion of One Deck Dungeon. If the stretch goal is met, I'm not sure there's a specific stretch or specifically mentioned stretch goal for that yet. They will like to be able to release that expansion. But be sure to check out the Kickstarter. If you are watching this on YouTube, actually no, the chat is on stream. You can see it. If you're watching this on YouTube, check the chat. That's somewhere down there, and you can see the link to the Kickstarter. If you can't find it, just search for Handelabra. I think it's their second Kickstarter. Yeah, they created 2 Kickstarters. The first one was for Season 2 of Sentinels, which was a good success. Anyway, I'm getting sort of off track. Tuesday is Sentinels Live with the developers. Sundays is Tales from the Archive with another Lit Down, also known as Zach, who does Sentinels Storytime. He plays the game of Sentinels in the Multiverse, but it's more themed around an actual story. So he doesn't discuss strategy as much, but he does make it more fun in terms of there being like a storyline that's going on. And as cards enter play and effects happen, these influence the story as it progresses. So you actually get to see the lore of Sentinels more so than in my stream, where I discuss the mechanics of the card game itself. And then of course, as my stream is Thursdays at 7 with Sentinel Strategy. Talked about that enough. Is there anything else I need to point out? I don't think so. Oh, I think there's another thing. I think that every Wednesday now, at about 1 or noon, I actually don't remember. It might be noon or 11. I don't know. Actually, I think I might even say on here. Well, I believe every Wednesday for this month, they're going to do a Kickstarter stream where they're going to showcase One Deck Dungeon. So if you're interested in that, or you want to figure out more about what One Deck Dungeon is about, and you should check out that stream. 1 p.m. Eastern, that's what the time is. So at 1 p.m. Eastern, check out this stream each Wednesday of the Kickstarter for more information on One Deck Digital. I believe that's it. Thank you for watching, guys. I really enjoy doing this for you, and I look forward to being here next week for more Dolphins Dive actions. And my buddies, the Lou Dolphin and Phineas, agree. So I'm going to put up some Ennead music, as I usually do, and I'm going to end the stream. Good night.